Hey guys, it's Eric here and this is my unboxing and review of the TECNO Pouvoir 3, a successor to the Pouvoir 2 from last year. The box is pretty basic and white. You have some of the specs on the back. When you open it up, you're greeted with the device. Let's go ahead and peel out the sticker on the back and on the front. This is the champagne gold color. It also comes in city blue and midnight black. Let's power it on while we see what else is in the box. In the bottom compartment, we have a standard 10-watt charger, a micro USB cable, a pair of earphones, a SIM ejector tool, your specification manual. Here you can see all the 4G LTE bands that it supports, including the infamous Glow 4G band 28. You have your 13-month warranty card, and lastly a transparent soft gel case that fits snugly. It has a protective cover for the charging port and headphone jack. On the front, you have a 6.2-inch HD Plus IPS LCD display with 19:9 aspect ratio. On top of that display, you have a notch that houses a 13-megapixel camera with flash and speaker. On the back, you have a 13-megapixel AI camera with dual flash, a fingerprint sensor, and some branding. On the left, you have a tray that houses a micro SD card. On the right, you have a power button, volume rocker keys, and a SIM tray that houses two 4G LTE micro SIM cards, not nano SIMs now. On the top, you have a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the bottom, you have a microphone, a micro USB port, and a speaker. The Pouvoir 3's back and frame are made from a polycarbonate material. It has a glossy back and feels surprisingly light in the hand. It doesn't look all that different from the Pouvoir 2 from the back. The dual flash is still sandwiched between the single camera and fingerprint sensor, which looks very familiar. However, on the front you have that notch and more screen real estate to the side of it. The front firing flash doubles up as the notification LED. It does spot a chin here. The display is bright outdoors, it's got great viewing angles and is responsive to type on. It's a HD Plus display and you won't be able to consume 1080p content on YouTube. In the settings, we can see that this unit comes in 32 gigs of storage and 2 gigs of RAM. You have 25 gigs available to use. It runs on Android 8.1 Oreo and HiOS version 4.1 slapped on top of it, both of which are now rather dated since the Spark 3 Pro showed up. In the quick settings, you get all the toggles we got on older TECNO devices and none of the new ones like bike mode. In the display settings, you get an option to hide the notch for those that are notchophobic, as well as eye care to make text on your screen easier to read at night for longer. You get two system navigation options to choose from, the regular and the swipe gestures. Upon unboxing, the default theme was a bit of a mess, but thankfully we get high themes pre-installed with a theme we are more used to, as well as lots of free themes to download and install. You get a whole lot of bloatware, but you can delete them. You have Phone Master, and someone pointed out to me on my Spark 3 video that you can hide apps by simply holding down your home screen, hit desktop settings. The hide apps feature is sitting right there, so I'm going to hide the TECNO Spot app, which is a forum for TECNO fans. We select it and head back to homepage to find it. So yeah, the app remains to be unseen and is completely hidden, but we can unhide it by going back to desktop settings and the hide apps. We can actually launch the app from the hiding spot, and we can also unhide the app by unselecting it from the list. About performance, the processor powering this guy is the MediaTek 6739 quad-core CPU clocked at 1.3 GHz. It will run your everyday social media apps, but not without the occasional lag here and there. And it's also not a multitasking beast, so in order to keep things running like this, you need to keep your usage light and close unnecessary apps running in the background. The fingerprint sensor is accurate most of the time. It's not the fastest, but it's okay for its price. Face unlock works well in good lighting condition and uses the flash in low light to read your face. Not the most secure method of unlocking your phone still. When it comes to gaming, I played PUBG in the lowest settings, and while I managed to play at length, the experience was rather choppy. This isn't a gaming device by any means. If you want a reasonable PUBG gameplay, the Spark 3 Pro does a much better job. You can however play light games like Smash Hit and Subway Surf without a hitch. In terms of battery life, this is by far the most impressive feature about the Pouvoir 3. It's being touted as 4-day battery life. Perhaps light users get to use it for 4 days, I didn't. What I do know is that this is the longest heavy usage I've ever done on any mobile phone in my entire life. I played PUBG for a whopping 6 hours, I checked a lot of social media feed, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, took some photos, transferred and installed my apps, all on Wi-Fi. This gave me 15.5 hours of screen on time at the end of the day, with about 5% left to spare. You can file this one under the Battery Beast Plus category. It took me 3 hours and 51 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%. It doesn't support fast charging. I put the AI camera to test and here are some of the photos that I took. I'm really impressed by the details captured on the single primary camera of the Pouvoir 3. The portrait selfie mode misses the mark a little too much, but the contrast and skin tone are so on point. It records videos in 1080p but no image stabilization. I believe the Pouvoir series caters for a specific audience, people on a tight budget who place long-lasting battery life as their utmost priority. TECNO threw in a really good camera to shake things up, but ultimately it's that battery endurance that should endear you to this guy over the likes of, say, the Spark 3 Pro, which is of course faster and more updated in terms of software. Hopefully an update is pushed this guy to bridge the gap, but don't hold your breath on it. Pouvoir 3 is priced at 42,000 Naira, which converts to $115 US. You can pick yours up on Jumia or any major retail store nationwide. I'll be leaving a link in the description box should you wish to shop on Jumia. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram to see what I'm up to. Please subscribe for more videos like this as it will mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.